campus reform. We love highlighting their videos and their work that they do. They're back with another video. This is the group that in part goes and asks college kids about current events and, trying to get the pulse of what's going on college campuses. This has to do with protests in Cuba and in Hong Kong and elsewhere in the world, because wherever you have a truly oppressed group of people speaking out against their government, what do you see? What do you see them waving? You see them waving an American flag more often than not, because no matter what Colin Kaepernick wants to say or that hammer thrower from the Olympics wants to say, the American flag worldwide, generally speaking, is considered a beacon of hope and freedom to oppressed people, to truly oppressed people. And there's a reason for that, because America is that beacon of hope for a lot of people around the world. And it's a shame that we apparently as Americans, or it's apparently controversial for Americans to believe that now. I'll never understand that other than, well, the communists are good at shaping narratives. So the interviewer asked the students, why do you think that these people are waving American flags? Because, according to you enlightened college students, this is a symbol of oppression. Here's what they said.
Why do you think they're flying the American flag in these different nations?
I mean, we don't represent a socialist government, so I don't know why they would wave a flag. I'm not really sure, actually.
That's a good question.
Well, I don't know. It's not this perfect image of equality and opportunity.
And maybe they're just not keeping up with, the news around here or something, or, they're maybe, thinking that, everything's fine over here and stuff.
I think they're kind of being naive by flying the American flag?
Yes.
Do you think maybe they're being naive?
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say they don't really know, what's going on. I'd say, I was just saying that those, they're, our demographic, they are, the only ones, for the most part, who truly understand. College-age students have, a pretty firm understanding of, for the most part, of, what's going on and, I guess all the inequity in America.
That's a Babylon Bee headline from earlier this week, where it's college kid tells Cuban refugee that socialism is good or whatever it is, that Cuba just didn't do communism right.
Really, the only thing you really have to know is this. There are not hordes of Americans that are putting on a raft and going across the ocean to go to Cuba.
Right.
That are risking their lives to go to Cuba. There aren't a bunch of Americans in Texas going across the border into Mexico to live there because it's a better life. People are trying to get in here.
Yes.
There's a reason thousands of people are pouring in here, you snotty-nosed little brat.
That's funny, though. Yeah, we, the college demographic, we understand the world a little bit better. That's a parody.
It is a parody.
You're telling me.
But I'm not shocked. I'm totally not shocked by that.
Well, this is what happens when you have K through 12 education in a lot of cases, where history is based around Howard Zinn's warped view of America, right? Where America not only has faults, but is defined only by its faults.
I can remember a time. I'm so old that I can remember a time when people were very proud to be Americans. As a matter of fact, that kind of nonsense talk would have had you ostracized and put on some island somewhere.
Right.
That the majority of the people would have been, what are you talking about? Not anymore. Now you're free to say it. Not only say it, but you believe it.
Mm-hmm. It is.
I don't think any of these kids are lying. I think they do believe that. I think they absolutely believe that. They've been taught that. That's what they believe.
So yeah, the basic thought then is that the people who are trying to rise up against their government, these are people who live in fear every day
of dying.
That state police will come in and kidnap them from their home.
Yes.
And in some cases, it's not because of anything they did. Maybe it's because there was somebody in Florida who had escaped Cuba who was speaking a little too loudly.
Yeah.
They want to try to get to dissidents through their family members.
The sins of your cousin or your brother or your, unbelievable.
And right now you have a situation where where members of the media are being rounded up by state actors in Cuba. And these snot-nosed punks think that the folks who are trying to rise up against their government are the naive ones, because they think, hey, you know what? America is better than where I live.
Yes.
They are naive. The people who live in fear every single day that they're going to say the wrong thing or their cousin is going to say the wrong thing and they're going to disappear forever. They are the naive ones, according to them. Mm-hmm. Defund college, man. We've got to have a national conversation about what is being taught to kids. This is pathetic.
Well, they don't just learn this stuff in college. They learn it in high school. From the time they start school.
Yeah.
It's the hate America thing. I mean, you sound crazy when you say that.
Yeah.
Like a tinfoil hat, wearing, patriotic flag waving guy, but it just is incredible. I mean, the hate America thing blows my mind.
Yeah.
I still can't wrap my head around, but it works. Obviously it works.
Yeah. Well, it's hip to do it. That's what the cool kids do.